All right, coming at you in full def this time. That's right. We upgraded our StreamYard subscription to the full definition videos. So, welcome once again to Chill Filter Drink Alongs. This is the November 2023 edition. We are drinking Rampur, I don't know, double cask. I tried it at a bar recently. I've pretty much mentioned this a few times on the podcast already. It kind of blew my mind, and I wanted everyone on our Patreon to be a part of it. So, welcome, guys. Yeah, join the chat. We want you guys to talk. We want you guys to have fun. And we love calling out what people are saying and stuff. But hopefully, you all have your pour. If you're not on Patreon, hopefully you can join Patreon. And if not, yeah, just buy yourself a bottle of Rampur. I'm gonna say Rampur from now on.
A pour of Rampur, yeah.
A pour of Rampur. It's like a tour of Ram tour. Yeah, Brian, how's it going?
Good.
I saw
front
you
bell just rang in case everybody heard
funny.
that.
I didn't hear it. Did you so you bought a bottle because you helped out Mr. Jim Mathwig?
Oh yeah. I gave my sample to Jim because I'm not sure I even told you this, Cole, but we were out for Indian food like a week ago, and they had some decent whiskey at the bar, and I asked if they had Rampur double cask, and he went to go check, and he came back and he was like, "Yeah, actually, we've been selling so much of this, I can't even give you a 2-ounce pour. I can give you 1 ounce for half price." And I was like, "Yes." I was like, so perfect. Right. All I wanted to do was try it. So technically, I have tried this before, and it was good enough. Good enough. I knew I wanted a bottle, but I saw you post a picture to Instagram about it and everything. But what I haven't seen is whether your bottle came with a bag like this.
It did. Okay, it came with a tube and a bag. And let me ask you this: was your cork surprisingly loose?
I haven't even popped it yet. So
cool.
That'll be live for everyone here today.
Both the bottles that I purchased for Patreon peeps were surprisingly loose. Like there was even in one, there was leakage.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't terrible. It was like maybe less than an inch, but yeah. Unscrew that, John.
Looks pretty full.
And then find out if it's loose. Cause it was a little bit scary because both of them were, like I said.
Let's hear how squeaky this is. Oop,
that was a great cork pop. Yeah, both of mine were duds, I guess.
It came out pretty easy, but I will say there's not a lot of I don't trust it too much. Yeah.
So Miles was telling us he's got JD single barrel rye. I assume not the barrel proof. If so, good on you. But good on you either way, Miles Ferguson. We got Paul Clarkson not entry buzzing for good reason. We'll leave that out of the live reason. You can read the cork. I mean, you can read the what do you call it?
You may or may not comments. Be drinking along. We'll leave that alone.
Yeah. And loose cork conspiracy, says Miles Ferguson. Miles, is Patricia joining us today? Oh yeah, he can't talk back yet, so we'll find out. But I'm really excited about this one. I got crazy notes on this, which I'm not going to give away ahead of time. I kind of want some of our listeners to mention in the comments. We got Ben Klepsig in the house, and I'm with you, Ben. Entry buzzing on an Indian single malt as well. He's got Amrut Kad Hambam. I probably pronounced that terribly, but I got the Paul John Peated 55.5 cask. We were talking ahead of time that we learned on the Amrut cask strength episode that cask strength Indian whiskeys are typically not exactly cask strength, but they're legal strength, where there's a legal maximum you can sell whiskey, and I believe it's like 60 or 62.7. I'm probably off by a little, but it was a little bit different. Oh no, Patricia is her tasting notes will be lame because Patricia's not drinking along with us. Patricia has a very good palate and nose, surprisingly, for someone who doesn't love whiskey.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, we found that out. One time I was hanging out with Miles in person at his place, and we brought over I remember it was E.H. Taylor 4-grain, and she called out these crazy notes that were amazing. So
nice.
And we got some. I'll click on this one. Brian, great job as new co-host.
I'm not gonna click on it myself.
I didn't think you would. But how versed are you, Brian, in Indian whiskey?
Oh, hardly at all.
Was this the first one?
This is definitely the first bottle that I own.
Nice.
And if it wasn't for the podcast, I don't think I ever would have been interested at all.
Nice.
I can't remember if it was part of a drink along or just something you and I
Mhm.
did on the side, but you'd sent me a sample of Paul John.
Oh,
Oh, you know
nice.
what? I'm pretty sure I listened to your episode of that a while back,
Uh-huh.
and it sounded so good that when
Yeah.
we were working something out, I was like, "Hey, will you send me a Paul John?" And so you did, and loved it.
Nice.
I know
I
there's a
remember
store
that.
pick at my
Uh-huh.
store here, Trevor's, that I go to all the time,
Really?
but it can't they can't sell it. Like I mean, it's been on the shelf for
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
year or more.
Have
Just
you tried it?
so I haven't. Oh yeah, actually on their sample counter, I had
Oh,
a sample
nice.
once, and I remember just it tasted exactly like what you'd sent me to.
Mhm.
I think it's like $100 though, so I wasn't
Mhm.
wasn't willing to like pull the trigger for a whole bottle. But I remember liking it a lot. And
Uh-huh.
but no, the Rampur here is my first Indian whiskey.
Yeah. So this is dope. Why do you say we crack into it? I gotta get some water. I guess I have maybe I have some ice. Gotta cleanse the palate because technically the one I'm drinking now is peated. And I wanna get a little bit of a fresh palate there.
Well,
But
now,
yeah.
so is this
Mhm.
for sure the Rampur double cask is not peated?
From my recollection, I don't think there's any peat in this guy.
So from my recollection too, I don't remember there being any peat, but I didn't know if it was truly not peated.
Well, I think Rampur, or not Rampur, I believe Paul John even imported the peat, so I don't think it's a typical thing to have like
Mm.
Indian peat, at least from my experience. Although Amber Fusion is kind of smoky, from what I remember at least.
Mm.
But who knows? We'll find out.
I remember that Paul John being a little peaty. Yeah, that
Oh
was
no, the Paul
quite
John is
peaty, right?
legit. Like it says peated on the bottle
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
right there. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if that's typical for Indian single malts. I think it's very abnormal. You ever seen the movie The Machinist with
I'm not sure.
Christian Bale? It's a very dark movie, potentially one of the darkest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, not sure.
It's kind of a psychological thriller, but there's this point where he's like, I don't even drink normally. And he's like, what about abnormally? That's what I just thought of. Ooh. Rich white raisins. Front of the nose.
Huh. Man, my glasses. Maybe I'll let this sit a bit longer before I really go into depth, but there's a kind of youthy bitterness here that, and again,
Oh,
it could
really?
just be my glass that maybe I didn't wash very well, but it's hitting me like a young malt. It's
Really?
hitting me
Okay,
like a
gotcha.
2-year age kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I am getting there's a note there that I don't want to give away yet, but I'm getting it. I didn't notice it on the nose when I first drank it at the bar, but I definitely noticed it on the palate. But it is like a rich note,
I'm
and I will
pouring
give
a little
away when we
more,
drink it.
pouring a little more in a second Glencairn. Side by
Yeah,
side,
do
my
it.
2 Glencairns.
Yeah,
Average
just
out
in
that.
case. Although I've never, okay, so tomorrow we'll release the episode on
Yeah, tomorrow
Found
we'll
North
release
Batch
it.
8.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly.
Whoops.
And I'm actually really excited about that episode because I love talking to Nick Taylor, and we have the future episodes with Nick Taylor that I'm really excited about. Not anytime soon. We want to spread out some of these interview episodes because I don't want to be too formal with some of this stuff. Even though we're not formal in an interview episode, I don't like being like just interviews. I like people to know who we are. I like to be known. I like to have people come into our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like to do interviews like I would really avoid doing like 3 in a row or even 2 in a row often, but we might be doing an interview episode this week.
Yeah.
But we might not be. We'll figure it out.
Ben called out cream here. I mean, like a vanilla cream. I'm totally getting some kind of like a whipped, fluffy cream.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of fruit too. I like more stone fruit than anything.
Am I alone on the white raisins note?
I'm not sure I can relate to white raisins, so we'll leave that up to Chad. But
I really
very much
like
like a
this
totally dried fruit. I totally get
100%.
a dried mellow fruit.
Yeah. But there, like I said, there's one note that I'm going to save until we all drink it.
Nice.
To where I'm getting it really strong and a really pleasant note of X. We'll get to X later. All right. What do you say we sip this John piece?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Oh, it's still there. I wasn't crazy.
Nice.
Oh, so front of the palate is kind of like, to me, is like a just a nice single malt. The finish puts this guy on another level. Like
Nice.
So tropical fruity. Reminds me of almost a tropical fruity of, no, it's like a whole nother thing. I wouldn't even compare this to the tropical fruity I get from like Redbreast 12 Cask or like 15 or 21.
Because
it's a different note.
That's where my mind
was. Fruity. Oh, really? Yeah. But I think I get more mango from Redbreast like 21 or something like that. I get more elderberry from this. Does anyone have you ever had Saint Germain?
I think you asked me this recently too. No, I haven't.
So crazy. Like it just tastes just like elderberry liqueur.
And that's like a liqueur, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what do we say? Ben said pineapple. He said, I'm still trying to break into my packages that the courier delivered. That manly man really overestimated my manliness. That's deep. Welcome, Mr. Broesca, our Canadian turtle friend. We got apricot, which I agree with. There is a nice stone fruitness to this. Paul Clarkson says juicy fruit notes on the taste, specifically pear. Oh, that's like a juicy pear.
Paul got me with literal juicy fruit gum. This tastes like old juicy fruit gum to me.
100%. Is anyone like not getting that killer finish?
Killer finish.
I'm curious. Like just how special that finish is. Yeah. We got tart fruit. Okay, so if you've had Saint Germain liqueur, raise your hand, and if you agree with me, raise two hands. Yeah, I love this. I mean, here's the craziest thing: is this caught me? This is like pure hubba to what for me. This is like surprising, fantastic. And it's not what I expected. Like I've enjoyed Indian whiskeys thus far for the most part. But this one blew my mind. I did not expect this at all. So maybe no one else has had elderberry liqueur.
There's a smokiness to this too. Like it's not all fruit. There's a lot of bright fruit notes like right away on the landing. But as that finish goes, more of like a smoky earthiness kind of takes over.
Yeah. Honestly, I gotta put this up there with some of the best this year, especially like how surprising this is. So just gonna maybe we'll for our Chili's episode at the end of the year, which is the episode after the Christmas episode, which should probably be I guess it'll be the first of the year. We will talk about our favorite whiskeys from the year, and Brian can figure out which ones. Light honey, Jim Mathwig. I like it. Actually, definitely. He's got a point there. It's not like pure honey, but it's as if honey were like somewhat like lighter or watered down a little bit or something. It's not like rich honey, but I get
not causing it to be sweet, not causing it to be sweet so much, but it's got that like a Highland Scotch honey, like a lighter Highland Scotch honey flavor.
Totally. At least Paul Clarkson's on my team. He raised his hand twice.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have thought of it at first, he said. Ooh. Our Canadian turtle friend said, light smokiness reminds me of Nika from the barrel. It's there, but it's just so subtle and adds to the complexity. Speaking of Nika from the barrel, if you want to be a part of maybe even finding yourself a bottle of Nika from the barrel, consider our Christmas tradition this year. So as you might or might not know, if you don't, raise your hand. If you don't know and you want to help us, raise your hand twice. So
that Nika though, that would have been a great entry buzz.
Oh, straight up. And you're right, bro. it is very similar with that light smokiness. And I don't think, I know Nika has done some peated varieties. And for example, what is it? I think Nika Pure Malt, one of them had at least some peat that they imported from Scotland. What's Sieg? What's Sigu?
Segue.
I thought it was like, I thought it was spelled like the what do you call it? The motorized
thing you ride around.
Segway, man.
Segui is, I believe,
a Canadian showing me up in the vocabulary. No, joking. He probably knows. Canadians are probably known for better vocabulary than Americans. So
yeah. Well, now's the time for me to finally get to ask. So is it Testoasa? Testoasa? Give me a thumbs
can
up
you
if I got it right.
that for us?
Broasca Testoasa.
Canadian turtle friend.
I want to know because I want to.
And probably Brian will probably be the one who's starting to pronounce it correctly. I don't know if I'll ever get there, Richard. But I think it's time for water. We haven't even touched water yet, or at least I haven't.
The balance of the fruit,
it's so good.
The balance of the fruit with some smokiness really sets it apart. Because if it was just all fruit, I'd still be on that, like, oh yeah, this just reminds me of an Irish whiskey. But it's got this depth to it that's almost like a sweet. This is so weird, but I'm gonna say licorice. It's like
you can get licorice.
It's got this like sweet but funky depth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not like black licorice in, like, to me, and like, but it's like as if you're starting to get black licorice.
Yeah.
Anisi.
And finally, definitively Broasca Testoasa.
I was so close every time. Testoasa. And that's turtle in Romanian. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if so, I got you, my man. Like, I remember things. But if not, sorry. I'm a terrible person. All right.
I think he says on Romanian.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Less sweetness now with water. A little more bitter. Not in a bad way, though, but just I'm not getting many fruits anymore. More.
Yeah, it's not as strong. It's 90 proof for the record, guys. I don't know if there's no age statement on the bottle. But the thing about Indian whiskey typically is they don't age it as long as typical Scotch because of the climate. In Scotland, the average temperature has got to be like, I don't know, like 50, 60 maybe throughout the year, maybe even less. But in India, it's like near the equator. It's a lot hotter. They just the barrel just works it. I prefer it neat. I don't know about you guys on chat, but I think it's pretty close. But the finish trails off pretty quick comparatively to the neat.
I did a little more water too, just to see here, but yeah, I definitely prefer the neat too because I get more complexity with that extra layer of there being a little fruit on there too.
Mm-hmm. I also do get that bitterness. That's just not unpleasant, but it's just not becoming of this whiskey, if that makes any sense. Scotland, like 60 degrees Fahrenheit all year round. So I was close. Yeah. But yeah, in India, can you imagine? I don't even know. I had not Broasca Testoasa. You're probably good, better at grammar than I am too. And I mean that in the nicest way. Everyone here is better at grammar than me. But I had not even heard of Rampur before I was introduced to it at the bar. Basically what had happened, I was hanging out with Marco from AZ. He was in town and we went to the bar I used to work at. One of the guys I used to work with, named Floyd, was bartending. And we were, it's kind of like, hey, give us one more pour and surprise us. Nothing too crazy in price. And he poured it. It was like less than $15, I want to say, for the Rampur. For a pour, and he poured that, and we were like, yo, and he's like, am I right? And we're like, yo. So that was
Did you even know what it was before you sipped, or did you sip totally blind?
No, not totally blind. I saw the bottle and was intrigued enough to try it, but I thought he was just gonna be like, "Hey, Indian whiskey, check this out," because I had never had it at the bar.
Yeah.
But he was like, "No, it's more than that." So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Broaska like the nose with the water, but totally same for me too. That the fruity nose opened up with the water, dimmed on the palate, honey sweetness. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Honey candy. Yeah. Perfect. Totally
Um,
agree.
the ice has killed the nose for me. Not killed it completely, but like it's definitely muted comparatively. Hey, where's Ben Klepsig been? Oh, there he is. He's been on here. I'm just worried. Just worried. Goodness, Cole is spinning it from the stem. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Don't you ever do this, Rob.
This
We'll
is
kill you.
my technique, the one that might get me killed.
Yeah. Holding it towards the bulb.
Just fingertips though. I'm not cupping the whole thing, man. If Robbie was here to cut out these sound bites.
uh, that's great. Oh yeah, we got Ben here. Has anyone had other ramp? I'm actually curious. Yeah, has anyone ever
Yeah,
had? Because this isn't
good
their
question.
only, brand or release.
Hmm. Digging out some ice now. I'm a little behind here.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Paul Clarkson stopping by McDonald's for some ice.
Oh, that's amazing if he does. Yeah. Okay. Weird thing about the ice palette is that the front of the palette's weird. It's light. It is not as Highland Scotchy as what I had on the neat, but it's actually better than the water pour to me.
You're
It
talking
doesn't
palate, right?
kill. Yeah, it doesn't kill the finish, but it is definitely not as good as the neat. Because basically it thins out the finish, but still got the elderberry, the pineapple, the pears, all that fruitiness that I love, but not as good to me as the neat pour.
That I'm getting a little pepperiness with the ice that I never got previously, but it's a spice. It's hitting me just like straight pepper. Not heavily, but it's not bad, but it's not good.
Do you? I guess I'm getting like potentially like a white pepper. I'm not getting like a black pepperiness. It's like a lighter peppery. You ever had white pepper? I'm sure you have. You're a sophisticated man.
If that's what it takes. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Mr. Ferguson definitely has pepper with the ice.
Hey,
And
okay,
he's
good.
a sophisticated man.
Glad I'm not crazy. All my licorice turned to pepper, I think. Yeah, no smoky or anything like I was getting earlier. And to be clear, it never was really like very smoky. It was just some kind of depth to it that I couldn't put my finger on. Bottle
Paul,
for
I got
me
it for
was
90. I believe you got it for 99.
Yeah. Bottle was 100 for me, but
Mhm.
Costco recently had it for 80 and then put it on sale for 60. And unfortunately, I missed out on all that. I called the Costco's and had them check around, but I mean, still the
That would have
complexity
been
here,
crazy.
I
I
feel
would have
like
bought two.
the complexity here drinks around 80 to $100.
Yeah.
There's no regret here because it's a very interesting bottle. And I do like it a lot. I don't think I'm gonna peg it at Hubba to what. I'm still formulating, but I do like it.
Mr. Broeskatuswaswa, he bought 100 CAD, which is let's find out.
I feel like it's always a little more. I'm gonna guess like 120 USD for 100 CAD.
73.
What?
So he got
I
it
had
cheaper.
it the wrong way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you were converting the other way. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's good. Yeah, I'm sure it has to do with some not tariffs or maybe tariffs. Yeah, or wait, tariffs is the one where it's like tax, or is tariffs the one where it's like we're like giving you a consequence of something you're doing?
You said I was a sophisticated man, and I got nothing for you on
Okay,
that one.
cool. Someone can help me out. I'm sure like he's got it.
I
My
like
total
the
wine.
Ben Klepsig here. Let's put it up. White pepper in the hollandaise sauce.
Dude,
That
I was shaking my head earlier. I was like, "What a fancy man, Ben
We need
Klepsig."
this man to explain tariffs to us, please.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I was right on the tariffs. Tariffs are just wait. So tariffs are like taxi goodness, Like, it's just, hey, you're sending it our way, or is it the political thing? I don't know. Maybe I don't remember which one I said first. So,
all right. Well, we're gonna get you out of here in 5 minutes, but
yeah.
have you been holding back a special note that you didn't want to release?
No, it was elderberry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, one of these
I love
days.
this.
Okay, hold on. Let me just search right now. You said Saint Germain, Germaine.
Yeah, you Saint and then GER, and then you'll get the rest of it. Yeah, and you got to buy yourself a mini of it or something like that, and then come back to me and give me 2 hands up, saying yes, I've had it, and yes, I agree with you. So
every time I type in this search box the Total Wine, a pop-up comes up, and it's driving me crazy. Okay.
Oh,
you going for rating?
Yeah, I think so. And I want to hear your guys' ratings too.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's a 9+ for me.
I'm pouring a smidge more neat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 9.3. And I was thinking 9.2 originally. I love this pour. I think it is surprisingly surprising and not what I expected at all. And I love a complex whiskey. And this is truly complex to me. It starts off like a decent Highland Scotch, and it turns into fruit bomb. And like I'm talking, elderberry, pear, pineapple, all those good ones. Definitely not like that, not the mango that I love from like a good aged Irish. But it's got some things going on that I've never tried before in a whiskey, and I love it. So 9.3 for me. That's a high score.
9.3. That's really standing out in the collection.
Yeah.
That's really, and it's because of the uniqueness, because of
and
all
the complexity,
diversity of notes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you. I get the diversity. The diversity is holding it up for me. I think I'm settling around mid-8s, maybe a little lower. I appreciate
8.5.
I appreciate the complexity. I think that it's super unique, and I do really like it. But as far as like my own personal flavor profile, this is gonna land around 8.2 or 3. I'll go 8.3. I'll go 8.3.
Okay.
Yeah,
we got a Go ahead. Yeah,
really like it. That's all.
Nice. We got 8.5 from Miles. We got a 9.0 from Ben. Our Canadian Turtle friend said, for me, it's comparable to Nika from the Barrel.
Another Nika. Now I know what I'm drinking after this. I gotta go to Nika after this.
We got Paul Clarkson gave a 9.1. Jim Mathway gave a 8.8, and I love it. So tell me about Jim, Brian. Is he like an island guy? Because I know he grew up, or he spent a lot of time in the Pacific Islands. Is he like a what do you call it, Jimmy Buffett kind of island guy, or is he just like a man that loves an island?
He is definitely a man who loves an island. Yeah,
but not like Jimmy Buffett.
Maybe not like Jimmy Buffett.
But needs a margarita in his hand kind of guy.
No. What he needs is scotch in his hand. That's what he needs.
So he's the fancy Jimmy Buffett.
he chose to live 10-ish plus, maybe 15 years of his life on a small island. So he is an island guy.
He loves the water. He says.
Love the water. He says. And it all translated to his daughter too, who is my wife.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. And then one last our Canadian Turtle friend gave it 8.8. So I think that's it for us, guys. Let's start some hopes. I want to hear your hopes. I'll tell you some of my hopes. I hope that our guest appearance this week turns up. He's hard to get a hold of, or he's hard to nail down. It's not hard to get a hold of. He can respond, but hard to nail down is definitely this guy. And maybe we mentioned who it is yet?
No, but I bet people have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
If we were to poll the audience, I bet about 50%
people
I'm
would
sure
get it
right.
Would know,
but I hope I can finish my Thanksgiving leftovers before they go bad in the fridge.
Well, I didn't even get any. I hope that the bottles behind me will return. Basically, I put them on my shelf because I started working from home again. So I didn't want, like, I could probably cover it up. I mean, they do see the logo behind me, but I still need to, like, I can cover up the bottles when I'm working. I just thought maybe I'll take a picture of all of them in the whiskey shelf. And they look good in the whiskey shelf, but it doesn't look great right here. So I got to add more bottles.
With the blank table behind you, I love the idea that while you're working, you have to put applicable work stuff on the table. So there's
yeah, exactly. I have to switch it out all the time. Yeah, like actuarial tables and
perfect.
Perfect. normal distribution, Galton boards, and all that stuff. So. What do we got here? One thing I will say, I never get the pours like this if it weren't for wow. I hope that more people can be like Miles and that aren't Patreon supporters and want to be Patreon supporters.
And I hope Miles continues to get fantastic pours he wouldn't get anywhere else otherwise if he wasn't.
And I have a feeling, I can't lead the, it's going to be a spin the wheel kind of thing, but I want to say that Miles might get a random decided, or potentially maybe Miles will give the best Christmas gift this year to one of us. Either way,
maybe Miles will end up, if he's in the Secret Santa, he'll end up with Cole as his provider, and he'll end up with something really, really interesting if Cole is the
Miles. You probably gotten the link, right? Miles. But if you haven't, if you want to do, hit me up, Miles. If you want to do the Secret Santa.
I said Secret Santa. I meant Secret Sampler. How good is that name?
Sampler. I like it. Good. It's good. So, well, I hope. Even I know Broescatus joined. I know Ben joined. Paul joined. Jim Mathwick hasn't yet. And I think that's it for our crew right now. So, and then of course Brian and I are both going to join separately.
I need to fill out the form for myself.
Me too. Yeah. But I know a few others on the list are Dramhound, just a few. I'm not going to name everyone, but I also, what's his name? Joel Bradbury signed up.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a good time. And,
sounds like Miles needs to be, Miles needs to have you for Secret Sampler.
Yeah. So, thanks for joining us, guys. Like I said, I hope we'll have a fun time next month. We do have, of course, the Jack Daniel's 10 ahead of us, as well as that Four Roses barrel proof or single barrel proof. So keep an eye out in December for what we're going to be drinking for that. I want to say we'll probably do that mid-month, but we'll figure it out. Are you traveling for Christmas, Brian?
I am not.
That's cool.
Well, sort of. I might drive down, see Jim Mathwick for Christmas.
Nice.
Tucson. Won't be traveling for an extended period of time, so I'll be around.
That's cool. Did I tell you I'm going to be in Colorado? I'm going to Colorado Springs this year. So yeah, I'm leaving the day before Christmas, and I'll be back the next week. So we'll figure that one out, especially for our Chili's episode. Nice. But yeah, I hope you're all there for that. I hope you all enjoyed the episode that comes out tomorrow, or officially comes out tomorrow, because I really had a good time with Nick Taylor of Found
Tomorrow's episode is so fun Nick just has so many fun things to say.
And I'll give a little spoiler. At the beginning of the episode, we're like, hey, we got to reach out to people if this is like a killer pour. And it turns out it was a killer pour, and they've already sold out online. But I'm sure there's some people that can find it in stores and stuff. But if you have the ability, purchase it. It's worth it.
In store only.
It beat
it's out
Dash
online.
7. Gone. And you were one of the last ones, right, Brian?
I was, so I actually haven't even gotten my shipping confirmation email yet.
Oh, so it might even not be real.
But like, I've had this issue with shared pour before, and they've told me over email we don't sell bottles we don't have. So cool. It sounds like it's live updated. I went to add 2 bottles to cart, and it said, warning, your total has been updated to reflect current inventory.
Oh, so you literally got the last
my cart
one.
Then said 1. So I'm pretty sure I got the last
what
bottle.
If you had because we had, what is it, bottle 2833 out of like 2433 or something like that. So maybe your bottle's like 2431 or something like that.
I'm curious to see what number bottle I got. Yeah,
it'll be fun. So anyway, hope you guys have a good time. Hope you enjoy the episode tomorrow. And I'm really grateful for all you guys. It's Thanksgiving week. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you, whether you're Patreon or not. If you're watching, we love you. And if you want to hop on Patreon, do it. But I hope we will see you again.
I hope you enjoy grocery shopping right after this.
Oh, me and Beck are going to have a ball. But most of all, watchers, listeners, all the above, we hope that our love of whiskey lifted your spirits. All right, we'll see you guys later.